welcome to the Inspired Design School of Fashion. My name is Jumoke Olaguju and I'm the creative director of the Inspired Design Clothing and the Inspired Design School of Fashion. Welcome to understanding the business side of fashion and Happy New Year. It's indeed a very Happy New Year. I'm glad that you made this choice to start the year learning how to upgrade your business. It is obvious that this year your business is going to blow. Yes, you're going to increase in leaps and bounds as long as you put everything you are taught into immediate practice. Don't postpone. Whatever aspect that you can practice immediately, make sure you do. Okay, so what is this course all about? Why did I come up with this course? Okay, I've been doing online training in dressmaking, shoemaking, bag making, and accessory and different kind of thing, but this is the first time I'm talking about business. Well, I realized that we have a lot of artisans, very skillful artisans in Nigeria and in Africa, most especially. I know we have in other countries too, but well, let me say I'm just focusing more on Africans now because it's like we are lagging behind. I realize that we have a lot of artisans, but very few business people, very few entrepreneurs, just a very small amount of entrepreneurs. Why is it like that? Why is it that we have a lot of people who are working very hard, working day and night, every day, 7 days a week, but they have very little to show for it, little or nothing to show for it? So I go online. I have a page on Facebook and I have a Facebook group, and I'm a member of like close to 200 groups. I know that I'm not so active on some of them, but I get to see things. I'm a member of a lot of fashion groups, and I see people ask questions like they post a picture of a dress and they're saying, how much do you think I can charge for this? Whoa, that question, I don't know. Personally, that question irritates me. Why would you be asking how much you can charge for a dress you are making? You are not asking how much are you going to make this for me. You are asking how much you think I can charge. You are placing your own words in somebody else's hand. That is exactly what it means. And you see people come and say, my name is so and so, please, what can I name my company? What can I call my fashion business? What? You mean you cannot come up with, as in you can't decide what you want to name your business? Are you going to be asking people what you're going to name your child? Even if they are going to contribute, I mean, they're not the one that will tell you this is, sometimes, especially, I don't know about other culture. In Yoruba culture, they send to the grandfathers, the grandmothers, that they should give the child a name. But one thing I've noticed that is, no matter, even if they have hundreds of names, the parents will call the child the name they gave the child. That is how it is. So why would you be asking somebody what you can call your business? Why would you ask somebody how much you can charge for a product or services that you are offering? Let me ask you this: do you see Dangote ask you that, please, how much do you think I can sell this bag of sugar? How much do you think I can sell this bag of cement? He won't, because he's a businessman. He put all the factors of production into consideration, then decide how much his product is worth, and he puts the price there, and it depends on you to buy or not to buy. You should get to a stage in your business where you can call the shots. You should be bold enough to say, this is the price my product is worth. And the price you are placing on a product or services is also related to the what you are placing on yourself. So if you're asking somebody for how much you can sell a product, it means that uh you don't place so much work on yourself. So these are the kind of things that I saw that make me come up with this class. Then I realized that most of us, we're still a long way from understanding how to run a business. So this class, well, I'm not going to be teaching you everything you need to know about business, but I'll be teaching you important things you need to know about running a fashion business. I'll be teaching you about facts about the fashion industry. You must understand the industry you work in. And see, the fashion industry is a very big and lucrative business. I mean, a lucrative industry. It's an industry where we should really be making mark, especially in this country, Nigeria. But we have a lot of tailors. I tell you, we have a lot of tailors and fashion designers, but how much are we contributing to the GDP of the country? You go to a place and you take 10 people today in Nigeria. I mean, gather 10 young people, ask them their profession. Most of them are into fashion designing or tailoring. But how much are we contributing to our GDP? So it's because we are yet to, I mean, do the business like a real business. That is why we are here. So those are the things we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about branding. You need to understand branding, because branding is how you present your business to the outside world. So we'll be talking about branding. We'll be talking about the apps that you can use, mobile apps that you can use to promote your business and that is important for you to run your business. We'll be talking about pricing. We'll be talking about okay, the next class I'll be taking, which will be the actual first class, will be an introduction to the fashion industry. Okay, I'll be talking about some terms you need to understand. Okay, before I leave this section, this introductory part, I think I should just do a brief introduction of myself so that you have an idea of who is the person that will be teaching you the class that we're about to start. So like I said, my name is Jumoke Olagunju. I'm creative director, the Inspired Design Clothing, the Inspired Design School of Fashion. The Inspired Design School of Fashion is a registered name under CAC in Nigeria. The Inspired Design Clothing is not yet registered because, well, it's like a side also. Okay, so I dropped 5 by 7 in the fashion business. I studied agricultural science, graduated a few years ago, but my first contact with tailoring was when I was in primary school, where I have an aunt that just opened a shop, a tailor shop at that time, and because she has to go out a lot, she needed somebody to stay in the shop for her while she was away. So myself and some of my cousins will stay there, and she's so kind. She will allow us to play with the machine, so to say, because that was the first time I learned. That was where I learned how to pedal a manual machine. Then we began to cut pieces of fabric, join papers together. But afterwards, when I entered secondary school, I didn't have time to go to the shop again, so that was it. But I also remember that when they make my uniform for me, parents or adults, when they want to make clothes for you, at least in those days, they want to make it big so that it will last longer, because there's this general idea that children grow very fast. I have a very small stature, so I don't grow that fast, but they will still make those long uniform. And me, I don't like three-quarters. I want my uniform to be just above knee length. So I used to complain a lot, but nobody listened to me. Talk less the tailor, because I'm not the one paying. So what I started doing was to stop complaining and start doing something about it. I just take my needle and thread, fold the uniform to the length I want it to be, and tack it. Then sometimes it's not as fitted as I want it to be. I'll take my needle and thread and just sew it and stitch it. And by the time I'm done, nobody will see it on the outside and say they did not use machine for this clothes. So that was my first contact with fashion designing and tailoring. So as time goes on, so from there I know that I have interest in this thing. But you have to go to school. I wanted to study medicine. I was given agri science, and I fell in love with agri science. Leaving school, my plan was that I was going to really farm, as in practice farming, not look for a job. So I went for service, come back, realized that farming is not something you just do by mouth. Farming requires huge capital, which I don't have. I don't come from a rich background, so I don't have the capital. Started applying, but before that, and within the space of time I came back from service, and before I got a job, I have like 5 months. And at that time that I came back from service, one of my cousins was also relocating back from the north, and she's a tailor. So she just opened a shop. She doesn't have any customers. So I brought a lot of fabric from when I went to serve. I served in Plateau State, so there was a lot of cheap fabric that I bought, African print fabric. So I just bought it to. I said, okay, let's be cutting and sewing this together. At least people will know that they're doing something in this shop, and it will draw more customers. So she'll be cutting, I'll be looking at it, and so basically just normal native styles and all that. But as time goes on, my inquisitive mind will not allow me to just stay there. I wanted to know more than what she can offer me. So I started looking at picking up ready to wear. I don't know, I was drawn to ready to wear. My target was to be able to make perfect dresses like those who are making this ready to wear. They are human beings, it is shown. So I will look at it, I will look at the elements on the dresses. And I remember I noticed that most of these ready to wear, they always have invisible zipper, and I don't see anybody using it around me. So I wanted to, this is what I want to be putting on my clothes. That's what I told myself. So there was nobody to teach me. In fact, to get the zipper, I had to go to the main market to get it. I can't see it around because nobody is using it. So I started forcing myself to to fix it, mostly unsuccessfully. Then I was, in fact, that time I didn't even think about watching YouTube videos. It didn't come to me. Like, YouTube videos were not so popular at that time. But eventually I got how to do it through trial and error and prayer. Yes, it's funny, but I actually prayed about it because at the point I was frustrated. But to cut the long story short, I got a job and then moved out of Ibadan. I went to Lagos for several years. I forgot about fashion designing or tailoring. But afterwards, after a few years, that was when the banking industry had their first, or that me I was aware about. Uh, they had a problem in the banking industry. That was when Soludo was there, and people were asked to resign. So I was asked to resign. For me, it may surprise you, it wasn't like I feel so heartbroken, because going into banking was actually not my plan. My plan, remember, was to actually farm. I wanted to farm. So when we were had to resign, we were paid like 6 months salary. It was a lot of money at that time, and I was happy. So I took it into farming. Before that time, I already bought a few acres of land. So I went to farm. Sad to say, unsuccessfully. I lost the bulk of my money. Then I did animal production. That one too failed. Yes, those businesses failed, but I learned some lessons about business through doing this. That you don't go to a business you're not so familiar with. The fact that I studied agricultural science in school does not prepare me for the actual practicing. I had no exposure. There are a lot of things that I bought way higher than, things that I will use on the farm, higher than what I'm supposed to buy, stuff like that. So I learned that. Then I also learned that I will come to realize that, see, farming is a very, very capital intensive business. If you want to do it as a business, not just to cater for yourself and your family, you need a lot of capital to do it. And also, I later saw the beauty of the fashion industry. Like, for instance, if you put 10 million into farming, you are just starting, and there's a possibility of losing the whole of the 10 million. You can do a poultry business with 10 million and lose everything, almost everything. Maybe the only thing you have left is your cage and the house or something, which will go for very little. But if you put 1 million naira into fashion designing, you're not likely to lose anything. I mean, everything, because you're going to be buying machineries, your sewing machines, irons, and stuff like that. And you, if you lose, I don't know, it's a service business. And if you are making, like, maybe you are making ready to wear, you make a clothes that even if you lose, though, your machine will still be there. That means at least 50% of your capital will still be there, and you can, the capital you will have is something you can still do business with. Because now, if I lose money for buying raw materials and all that, I will still have my machines, and then people will bring their own fabric. They are the one that will bring their own fabric. I'll collect a little money to buy the materials that I'll use for it. So the only thing I need is my machinery, and I still have it. So it is a very lucrative industry where you need very little. You can start with, as in, whatever you have. You can start a fashion business with just your blackhead sewing machine. So that was what I learned. After I've lost all, let me say, all my money, I came back to fashion designing. Then I started building it from there. From there, I came into social media. I'm not a social media person. As in, I don't like the work. I don't have the time for the work you have to put into it. But because of this fashion business, I find myself getting more and more involved in social media. I created a page just for the purpose of showcasing my in fact my product. Even at that time, I did not really have that much product. I just wanted to have a page because I saw people having a page, and I grew up the page to over 200,000 followers. In one of our classes, I'll be showing you tricks, as in tips. I will be giving you tips on how to build your page, because see, your page is an important brand. So you build your Instagram page, you build your Facebook page, YouTube, stuff like that. Those are the things I'll be teaching. So that's how I started, and then I realized that I'm more passionate about the teaching aspect of fashion. So I think I do a lot more of that than any other thing now. I started training myself. I'm, like I said, I'm self-taught. I started reading books. Then I attended a course. There's like a 3 week course, and I was able to just make 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the course, and that was when my eyes were first open to pattern drafting. Wow! And I realized the importance of pattern drafting. I began to read more about it. I realized that, see, pattern drafting is what will set you apart as a fashion designer. At least if you are in the tailoring business. I'm sorry for those who are other parts of fashion. We'll still talk more about it, but I'm not familiar with this aspect, so I use it a lot for my examples. What I'm trying to say is that you have to get the right skills for the business you want to run. You have to understand the business you are running. So those are the things we'll be learning. And okay, as time goes, I don't want to take too much of your time in this video. I just want to do an introduction. I want you to see me. Most of the other classes I'll be doing will be audio, so that I know most of us will work with our hands. I want you to be able to listen to the audio even while you are working, so that you can do two things together. This course is not supposed to take you away from what you are currently doing. It's supposed to add to it. So you may not be seeing a lot of videos, but I needed to make this first video so that at least you can have a face-to-face interaction with me, and I can tell you a little bit about myself. I'll be giving some examples as I go on, that I'll be referring to my own experience and then what I've picked from other people. I encourage you, whatever you learn in this class, please try and put it into practice, and be open in class. There's going to be a lot of room for asking questions, and then for discussion, and for connecting with other members of the group. Make sure you participate. All right, enough said already. See you in class. Bye.